So let us start with a problem statement. You might hear it, and as I speak, it's really loud in this room. I got vaulted ceilings. I used to have carpet on the floor, and I tore up all the carpet, all the hardwood, and I put down granite tile. Well, as you can probably hear, it's loud in here. So what I'm thinking is 6, at least to begin with, 6 panels hanging off of the ceiling to at least deaden the ceiling. And I'm hoping I can do it fairly inexpensively if I kind of use my noodle. Now here we are back in my stereo room, and a year or two ago I built these bass traps. Got 3 of them here. These are 2 foot by 4 foot, 8-inch thick bass traps. I had a 60 hertz hum in here, and these took care of it. Basically, wavelength of 60 hertz, 16 feet. So you wonder why I have them lined up on one wall? There you go. So these are 2 by 4 by 4-inch thick fiberglass boards, simply wrapped in fabric. You have some landscaping cloth across the back, and just basically contact cement. Spray on 3M adhesive. Comb it over there, get nice and tidy. So I'm thinking the same idea, but I want to go a little bit cheaper because it was probably $250 to $300 to get fiberglass boards shipped from an acoustic company that, hey, you know, it worked out great, but I'm thinking something a little different this time. So these won't necessarily be bass traps, maybe mid bass traps, because I'm looking at doing 5.5 inches thick. I got 2 packages. Each one of these packages has 6 15 by 47 by 5.5 pieces of R21 rock wool. Now, if you've looked around, maybe some of the home build stuff, there's a guy named Yesko. He has his bass trap thing. These, from my calculation, come up to the perfect density that he came up with for doing bass traps. So call it mid bass. I got 2 packages because I think I'm going to do more and go 11-inch bass traps in my music room after doing this project. But for right now, I've got fence slats. I have enough fencing left for my fencing project to do 3 panels up front. Package of this. Okay, here's package number 2. Landscaping fabric, some tapestries, 1.5-inch nylon webbing, and some of this heavy-duty Gorilla Glue. It's what Home Depot had that I could order online, and you know, they shipped all the stuff free, and I'm super happy for them to ship me big-ass bundles of insulation for free and not make me have to drive down there, park, haul my butt across their store, and waste 2 hours of my day just in transportation. So let's set up and let's cut some wood. Oh, it's a new day. And got to start off with some appropriate coffee, with an appropriate coffee cup. And good morning. So I'm all set up, and I need to cut half a dozen 48 inchers, half a dozen 15 inchers, and let's go. You get the point. So here we are back in the garage. Got some music going. Lovely day, but it's a little cool out. I wanted to mention, you notice this table I have set up. I love these plastic shelves. Got two 2-foot pieces of plywood on there. And you can flat pack this whole mess in the corner of the garage and then potentially put a car back in here. So yeah, really cool. Another thing I really like as we go through corporate reorgs and shut down buildings, these little organizational trays that they throw out. I swiped probably 15 or so of those things. They are loaded up throughout my big toolbox, organizing stuff, and they're just awesome. So we have our half a dozen long pieces, short pieces. Hopefully this turns into 3 frames. One for drilling, one for screwing. Let's drill and screw a couple of these things. I wish I had another cordless drill than this massive, heavy-duty son of a bitch of a drill, but I really like that it's kind of overkill for doing this shit. And now I don't have any kind of dandy way of holding this at that angle, which I wish I did. I thought this was a Phillips, but obviously look at that closely, not quite Phillips. So let me grab another bit and we'll continue on. So, this old guy, don't know what you actually call it. I think it has a name. I call it a combo bit. It's a little square head in the middle, Phillips on the outside. They actually grip really well. I like the new Torx heads better, but it does. And I can feel that splitting wood out the backside, so I'm going to carefully follow this. It's a fairly long screw, but I want fairly long screws. Better aim with that one. Very nice. So just a quick little update on this. I did figure out a way to clamp things at a 90. I went ahead and I put this piece of angle iron in place with a couple of these clothespin style clamps, and it seems to be working okay. So let's see if I'm nuts or not. Alright, so nonetheless, a whole lot easier to try to just juggle this stuff like I was before. So, not bad. So a couple things to note when I was trying to put this landscaping fabric on. The first one was kind of, and I learned a couple things. For one, gee, okay, it doesn't want to cooperate. Start with 4 staples in the middle of the piece, right? So here, stretch it over to there. Here, stretch that over to there. And then you can come along and kind of stretch it, staple it, pull it, stretch it, staple it. Well, it doesn't really stretch, but anyway. And work your way out to a corner, and then this will come together pretty well. And the same thing on the other 4 sections. Other thing, I was trying to leave, you know, 1/8 quarter inch over here, come back and trim that with a razor blade. If you leave a couple inches here, it goes so much smoother. You can get the right angle on the blade and it'll just glide along here. If it's thin, the fabric, it was just pulling away as I trimmed it, and it kind of sucked. Okay, so now I have 3 frames. And now to me look really damn small for trying to absorb much of anything. Guess I'm going to be making a bunch of these things. And we are putting landscaping fabric over one side using my Pilot Crap staple gun. I wish I had something better, but I don't. It'll be fine. I guess I'm going to have to take some of that off of there. Really not sure how many staples I'm going to need in this. But you get the idea. At this point we have 3 frames, landscaping fabric on the back side, all 3. And it is time for the unveiling of what the heck this Rockwool stuff is all about. So, if I can get this tripod to cooperate, yay! And I am going to sport a mask and gloves, so. Moist hands, baby powder. Ready for airport security. Or whatever else you may have in mind. Yay. And the one mask. Before I do that, hey. Cleaver exchange, clever exchange. I don't know what, but this little tool, you got this hook, this blade, little staple thing. Delivery guy forgot this at my house. I sent him a text right after I noticed. He never came back and got it. So I had the advantage of one wicked little tool for opening boxes and stuff. In this case, stuff is Rockwool. Yay!
on. Oh man, I'm gonna love it. Alright, let's grab a couple of these. We're leaning the Tower of Pisa, does something weird. Yeah, this stuff has some rigidity to it, but I'm glad I'm doing frames because I think I'd be hanging bean bags off of my ceiling. Actually, kind of snug. Really, really nice fit. I like it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Guess I can give you a better idea what I actually got going on here. This is just going in there real nicely. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna reset. And I'm gonna put landscaping fabric over that, same way I did the other side. Yay!
So I thought I'd run through finishing off trimming out one of these pieces and kind of how I'm stretching it into place. I've already done this side. Again, I started with here, 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 stretch all those, and then here out in the corner, here out in the corner, and it's coming out pretty good. No rocket science other than I'm gonna buy another staple gun. This thing's a pile. Looking pretty reasonable. Yes. Let's put another one. Just because. And a little razor blade action. Just try to get that nice angle, keep it tight, and it glides along pretty good. What you see is what you get. Heck yeah. So at this point I have 3 boxes, insulated, covered on both sides. Now nylon webbing. Each of these is 56 inches long. I've measured 9 inches this way, 8 inches is where my center is. Both of these I am going to both glue and staple this in place. And you'll see what I have in mind because it's going to go the other way like this and kind of cradle it from the ceiling. So let's see what this Gorilla Glue has in store for me. I think this works like just a basic contact cement where you spray it on, let it get tacky, and then stick it in place. That's going to be my assumption. I really thought this would be coming out of here thicker than this. Interesting. It does not come out thick at all. I'm spraying this on here pretty damn heavy. That might take a few. So I did this about 10 minutes, brewed another cup of coffee in my appropriate coffee cup. Now let's see how this glue is behaving. So I'm sort of guessing like that. Oh yeah, that's nice. Excellent. Well behaved. I'm not going to throw a staple in there. I don't need to. Looks like my Sharpie ran a little bit with the glue. I guess that's kind of okay. Nice. Excellent. Okay. Alright, I figured the same thing. I'll give this about 10 minutes. Come back and have some fun with it. I do like the way this spray is coming out because I can really get an 1.5 wide, pretty accurate stream out of this thing. So. Very nice. To be continued. So I decided to start with my pink tapestry, or tapestries. Like I said, using 2 tapestries to cover 3 pieces to maybe have a consistent pattern across them. Do yourself a favor, if you're doing something like this, iron these things. Iron this material before you start actually sticking it to your panels. It just makes it so much smoother, so much nicer. Yeah, the glue and ironing it out, all that kind of thing, yeah, you'll smooth it out, but it's really worth this bit of time just to flatten this stuff out before doing anything with it. And by the way, if you hadn't figured out that this is not an ironing board, this is a piano bench with a large beach towel stretched over it, and it seems to be working just fine because I seem to move more often than I'm required to iron clothes. So, ironing board went away years ago and several moves ago. So at this point I have ironed one complete tapestry, cut it in half up the middle of the thing, laid it out on this panel, trying to keep this interesting circle and using a couple of reference points, this little lick and this little dot right here. Gotten that symmetrical with this little lick and this little dot. And I cut about 6 inches off of here, 4 inches off the other side, and about 3 inches off the ends. And here's my pile of material. So now I'm going to do something that's similar to what they call a half hinge when you're applying decals. So this is all laid up, and normally you'd stick this to whatever you're sticking to. And we're going to fold this back. So we know this whole side is staying in place. My lovely little 4x4, hopefully making that happen. And contact cement again. This time I'm going to focus more on the edges and just a little bit in the middle. How I get that figured out on here, I got no idea, but we're going to try. I am assuming that this is, yeah, it's tacking up quicker. I'm not putting it on quite as heavy. Hopefully get the wrinkles out of this. Tighten it up nice and smooth. Come on, honey. I know you wanna. One concern I had with this webbing underneath here is that it's going to look flat, it's going to look funky. Flat, funky, all of the above. Grab the iron. Alright, that kind of looks pretty good to me. I'm going to flip things around and do the other side. Well, that second half turned out to be pretty difficult. I had to extra material in this area. So I had to really kind of work it and rework it and work it and peel it back and rework it. I still got a couple of wrinkles in here, and thankfully it's going to be on the ceiling because I can't iron these out, and it is what it is. So, onto these ends. I'm just going to start by securing this on both ends. And that's it. Then we're going to start working out what we're going to do about the corners. Because you actually want to remove a fair bit of that material so you're not wadding up all the material up into the corner. So for each one of these corners, I'm going to start off in the edge that already glued this down. And all I want with this material from this corner is about 2 inches in here, and then taper off to about a 1/2 inch up here. Glue that in place, then come back, glue this, do the same thing the other way, but then I'm going to fold it, iron it, press it down on top of there, and this whole wad of extra material is going to go away. That's my thought. I'm sticking to it. So I cut my little strip of material. Some light gluing ought to do it for this guy. The dog that wants to get sprayed. You want a tapestry on it, dude? I'm sure you do. Johnny likes a good fashion statement. And thank you to the neighbor's lawn guys. Thank you to fucking leaf blowers from hell. Good grief, man. Alright, no more lawn guys. So I have all 4 corners set up this way, where I'd overlap this about a 1/2 inch in from each corner, a couple inches in here, cut that out, wrap it over, glue it down. Now this whole side, I want to do what we did at the ends. And thank you to the neighbor's Harley. He's cool about it. I have no issues. Even when it wakes me up, it's not that bad. The other neighbor with his Harley, the new guy, good lord, he gets out a little bit more in the morning. It also has a 911 turbo that I appreciate waking up to in the morning, but you know, do you have to? Okay, you're wanting to be ugly. I don't know why. Don't be ugly. Come on. There you go. You can make it. No, you can't. Oh, get that roll. Alright, so similarly to before, I'm realizing my Sharpie is coming through. That's kind of a bummer. I'll be sure to cut my Sharpie off this time. Start up in there. End up down in there. Taper across there. And like so. See how that goes. Take my Sharpie. Most of my Sharpie. I don't have to stare at it. Shouldn't through this fabric. I should have. There we go. Nice little triangular material that does not need to be wadded up in this corner. Oh, come on. Just not quite perfect. Damn you. Alright, well, we are going to call that perfect. Throw some glue in there and call it good. Alright, so it's sticking out there a little bit, but you know, overall, I'm kind of liking it. Still seeing that Sharpie thrown through. This tapestry is so thin, everything is kind of shining through. At any rate, on a piece of Sharpie, damn it. Alright, well, generally speaking, that's a pretty decent looking corner. Yay. Alright, so at this point I've flipped this guy over onto its face. I've trimmed everything, leaving 1.5 to 2 inches all the way around. And I'm grabbing scissors when I need glue. So I'm going to start with these ends. White squirt out of these is fine. I'm not so concerned about corners and appearances on the back side. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I think I'm going to need a little more glue for the corners. Keep those nice. Get that out of the way. Whatever. Oh, great. Contact cement and random threads. That's super. Okay. Sure, I get that spot because I haven't been paying very good attention. I guess ideally I could roll this over, iron it into a nice, neat, tidy whatever, but I'm not. That's just that thing. And voila, I'm gonna call that done deal. Righteous. I have so far laid out a few holes, drilled a few holes in the ceiling, constructed my leaning tower of Pisa, maybe just a little bit too tall. I'm trying to get spurs in the ceiling. Really kind of need to be able to get the drill in here. That little stubby freaking screwdriver. Really kind of awkward. At least I'm biting into some wood. Let's see how we do. Alright, that will definitely hold this. Get into a better spot to do something with it. Yeah, it's a little ways over there. I don't know how I'm gonna get in there. Pretty sure that's not how I want all of them to go. Even if this does somehow, by some miracle, it can work. Drywall, and my back is about to explode. Another drive screwdriver. Alright, start to get some grip into the wood. Alright, that will hold it. I'm not doing the other ones that way. Admittedly, the last two were really not much safer than the first one. Nonetheless, here's my version of an unveil. have it. All right. Let's see. Here's my other one. And my vaulted ceilings. Way too noisy. Perhaps my imagination, but I think it sounds better in here already. What do you think? You still gonna blow the hell out of me every time the delivery guy comes?